So now that you have your 3D logo, let's take a look at how we can navigate about a 3D environment and see the logo from all different sides. Now we have three different hotkeys to navigate a 3D environment. We can orbit, pan, and zoom. Now the hotkeys are very easy to memorize. We just hold the Alt key whenever we're going to navigate. So I'm holding down Alt on my keyboard. I'm right-handed, so I'm using my left hand to hold Alt. Now while I'm holding Alt, I'll left mouse click, and this will give me the orbit gizmo. So now as I left mouse click and drag, you can see I'm orbiting about my 3D logo. Now if I'm holding down Alt and I middle mouse click, I'll have my tracking or panning tool, and now I'll be able to pan left and right, up and down with my 3D logo. Likewise, if I hold Alt and right mouse click, I can now zoom in and out on my 3D logo. Now using these three navigation types, we'll be able to zoom in to the little nooks and crannies of our logo, look at it from all angles, and investigate from all different sides. So it'd be good to practice using these hotkeys and becoming very comfortable orbiting 3D space. Again, a good tip here is just always hold down the Alt key when trying to navigate, and then you can switch between left mouse clicks, right mouse clicks, middle mouse clicks to be able to get into those little tight areas as you're investigating your 3D model. So now that we can orbit or navigate our 3D environment, let's modify our 3D text and see how we can change the design. So to do this, we're going to take a look at a new menu interface, and that is the channel box and the attribute editor, which is found on the right-hand side of Maya. Now, whenever we select an object, we'll be able to see that object's settings. So by default, we're looking at the channel box, and this gives us kind of like an Excel spreadsheet data of what type of history we have with the object. Now, if we'd like to see a more detailed breakdown, we can switch over to the attribute editor. And getting started, I would recommend using the attribute editor because understanding the settings can be a bit easier when we're starting out. So within the attribute editor, we have different tabs, the history of our logo. Let's navigate and find the Bevel Plus tab. If you need to, you may have to hit the right arrow to scroll to the right to find your Bevel Plus tab. Now once I select that, here you can see those same settings that were found in our logo creation tool. So in our text tool, there's those settings. But now, as opposed to creating the settings before we create the logo, we'll be able to adjust these after we created the logo. And you can see this is a lot more visual than if we would have done it before. So here we have three main settings we're going to take a look at: bevel width, bevel depth, and extrude distance. Now with bevel width, you can see that we can adjust the width of the bevel amount or the depth of that bevel amount, and that's what gives that nice chamfered corner look. Then our extrude distance gives us the overall thickness of our logo. So feel free to modify your logo however you'd like to come up with your own design. I'm going to use a pretty tight little bevel to give a nice modern, clean look. So I'll do a bevel amount of about 0.02, and I'll do an extrude distance of 1. And here you can see you can click within the input fields, manually type in data as well, or if you'd like to use the scrubbers on the right hand side, you can use either option. So if I deselect my logo, you can see that that gives me a nice crisp edge along the side of my logo. So at this time, you can now complete the second step on your logo, and that's modifying the bevels. So just to recap, remember to select your logo, navigate to the attribute editor on the right hand side, find the Bevel Plus tab, and there you'll be able to work with the bevel width, depth, and extrude distance settings. So pause this video and then resume once you've modified your bevel settings.